All right, so I'm on the highway here, and hopefully you can see that it is pouring rain here, and I have the new tires on. I've put about 1,000 miles on them. Actually, let me pull up the menu here. Well, people are slowing down because of how hard it's raining. But I've put 1,300 miles on these tires so far. Average mile per kilowatt hour is 2.11. For the car in general, since I purchased it, I've got 26,000 miles on the vehicle, and it's 2.37. Now remember, I want to say that first 1,000 miles, normally tires don't get as good mileage. I primarily drive an all-purpose standard height. Now, on my trip that went on, that was 1,000 miles. It was up into the mountains, so I typically don't get as good gas mileage. I'm also going in speeds of excess of 65 to 75 miles per hour. I normally don't top 80 too often unless I'm passing a tractor trailer. I don't like to speed too much, but especially in this car, I find that it just doesn't really feel like it wants to speed. It's comfortable, but it doesn't need to. Now with that, I want to say the tires are driving incredibly well. I'm very pleased with them in so many ways. I am very impressed with how they handle these wet conditions, especially with how much rain is on the road right here. There's a lot of rain that's coming down. The road, actually, this road does tend to hold a little bit of water, and it is handling it perfectly well. Even at higher speeds, right now we're only going 40, but even at highway speeds, which I'm going to just switch lanes here real quick. And you can see no problem accelerating, no problem with anything, no problem really with road noise either. I don't find it to be quite as good, maybe as the old original tires that came with these 21-inch Hankook tires that are on here. And these are the Hankooks that are pretty new to this car. They are a EV ready tire, and they're made for EVs, so I found that there's no issues. As you can see, I'm running about 48 PSI in them. They are warmed up a little bit, so they might have been a little lower. Today was just a little bit colder than it has been the rest of the summer. But overall, they're not that noisy. Well, right now we're on a road that's sort of pitted because they are about to resurface it. But I'm really impressed with these tires. Ask questions down below if you have any questions about these tires. I did ride on a variety of surfaces, from roads like this that are pitted and the car is tracking perfectly fine, to roads that had tons of potholes, and I found that the car was more controlled than with the old Pirelli Scorpion tires that were on here. So I'm really impressed with how these tires are handling things. I also have found that they are a little bit more stable on roads that are washboarded. So when you get these roads that are sort of vibrating a lot, it tends to knock out a lot of that noise and things like that. And I have to say, they look pretty good, the tires. I think they're a little bit wider. I'm feeling a little bit more, I should say I'm hearing a little bit more wind noise than I think that I heard in the past. The car has never been great with wind noise to begin with, but I find that it's just a little bit more than it was. And actually, I'm just going to zoom over another lane here since we're still going below the speed limit. There we go. Let's get up to speed. And you can see the car is tracking very well. No issues at all. I do find that also the self-driving system, which I'm not going to engage on this type of road and these type of conditions, for this is a 2023 R1S, so it's a Gen 1 model. The Mobileye and everything, it tracks a little bit better than it did. Man, people are really going slow today with this rain. Tracks a little bit better than it did with the old tires, I feel. It just seems to handle things a little better. And I'm quite impressed with it. I'm really quite impressed with the way these tires are handling things and how they're working. Now, the mileage, as I said, you can see here that I'm getting that 211, and even with how things are driving and the fact that it's a little bit more chilly out, it might be using the heat, I'm still getting about 1.76, I don't know if you can see right here, miles per kilowatt hour average over the last 15 minutes. And I've been going on and off the highway, was sitting in some parking lots setting up the camera, and I usually get around 2 to 2.1 on the highway going around 70, and this got about the same. So I'm not really seeing a loss of mileage or range for the vehicle, which is a good thing to have. Now, also with that, I will say, a lot more chargers on the road. I'm a lot less worried about, hitting a spot between charging systems with that 300-mile range that I have on the vehicle. But I would definitely recommend these tires. Do not get them from Walmart, though. I found out Walmart, and this is a big mistake on my part, I ordered them through Walmart because they had a cheaper install price. But when I got to Walmart, they could not install them on EVs, or at least the Walmart that I went to could not work on any EVs because of the way they lift the vehicle. They apparently lift from the center, according to the mechanic there, and maybe I was misinformed, but they said that they lift in the center and it's too much strain on the battery pack, so they will not change batteries on EVs. So do not take your EV to Walmart. I would just order them from Tire Rack and get them wherever you want. Now, as far as why I went with these tires instead of the Michelins that are also available, is that the Michelins were not available. And I sort of rushed getting tires because I got a little bit, afraid that they're going to start running out of tire availability. And the tread was getting pretty bare on these tires for the Pirellis that I had. And I was going back and forth with the Hankook and the Michelin tires. And overall, I decided on the Hankooks because they were available. But also, I did like having the longer tread life warranty on them of 80,000 miles. And I was a little bit surprised. A lot of people were saying that they were getting better mileage than their old Pirellis on here for the 21-inch tires. And I was kind of excited about that as well. If I can get more range and get a little bit more out of them, especially in local driving, that would be great. It wasn't necessary. Like, I feel that the car gets pretty decent range. But I am surprised with how much better they're driving. I do find that they drive just a lot better, and they handle the road a lot better. I'm actually pretty impressed with them. I thought the Pirellis were pretty good, except for the tread life and the price. $500 a tire and only lasting about 25 to 30,000 miles. That's a pretty bad tire in my book. But these are really good tires, and I would highly recommend them. Again, if you have questions, ask them down below. I'll show some shots of the outside. And as I said, if you order them from Walmart, just make sure you know that you're going to pick them up or get them shipped to your house. They're not going to install them for you. So with that, thank you for watching. If you have any more questions about the Rivian that I have or how it's been working for me, let me know down in the comments. Maybe I'll make another video following up on how I'll probably make a video on how the tires are doing, maybe at about 5,000 or 10,000 miles during the first rotation. And I'll also let you know how they're doing as far as wear and tear. But overall, so far, they're doing really good. As you can see right here, right now we're already up to 2 miles per kilowatt hour average, which isn't bad. And we're about to get off here on 70, which is a high-speed road. But with this type of rain, I know drivers don't like going fast. I will say, buy high-quality tires. I believe in high-quality tires. For those that are looking at Rivian and have other vehicles, remember, there's only 4 square feet of road to car really that is keeping on the traction from your tires. That's it. It's 4 square feet. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but that's it. That's all of everything that is keeping you on the road. So it is worth spending the money on those things to make sure you keep yourself on the road. Those tires are really important. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off here on my next exit, and I'm going to let you go. Again, leave some comments down below and let me know what you think. If you have these tires, let me know what you think as well, and we'll come back and do an update. I'll do maybe some shorts on the mileage that I'm getting as an update. I'll keep this Trip A reset from when I got the tires, and as you can see, we've got 2.11 so far. So we'll come back maybe probably in 6 months and see how they are, and I'll put a little short up there to see how the mileage is going. So with that, again, check out my videos. Let me know what you think.